Have you ever woken up and wondered why you instinctively reach for your phone the second your eyes open, even when you know deep down it doesn't help your morning? Or why you stop at the exact same shop for coffee every single day, even when you're in a massive rush? I used to think these were just personal choices, but as I dove deeper into the data, I stumbled upon a reality that honestly left me stunned. More than 40% of our daily actions aren't conscious decisions at all. They are sequences of automated reflexes, invisible gears quietly driving my life, and likely yours too. What haunts me the most is how giant corporations seem to see right through us. Can you believe that as far back as 2002, Target could predict a customer was pregnant just by analyzing tiny micro shifts in her shopping cart, like a sudden switch to unscented lotion? They didn't need to ask. They just watch the habits. They reach out to us at our most sensitive inflection points to reshape how we spend money for the rest of our lives. But I've come to see habits as more than just a tool for manipulation. To me, it's a brilliant evolutionary shortcut, so our brains don't overheat from making too many trivial decisions. From Fortune 500 boardrooms to movements that changed history, habits are the silent power behind the world's macro waves. The question I find myself asking is, if we don't understand how these gears turn, are we really living our own lives, or are we just cogs in someone else's game? I believe that without the awareness to recognize them, we'll keep running on a pre-programmed wheel, burning energy on routines that are quietly sabotaging our health and our careers. As I look at what's happening around us today, I see a fierce friction between our ancient instincts and a modern world designed for constant stimulation. I've started calling this the national debt of habits that society is forced to carry. Take a look at these numbers with me. In the U.S., tobacco addiction costs the economy over $600 billion every year. But what worries me even more is the obesity epidemic, which now affects 40% of American adults. It's become so severe that only 2 out of 5 young Americans are physically fit enough to join the military. Personal habits have effectively become a national security issue. And there is a reality that I think many of us are feeling deeply right now: the great burnout. I see a heartbreaking paradox where technology and AI cause productivity to skyrocket, yet the human soul is hitting a breaking point. Employee engagement is at record lows, and 66% of workers report feeling totally burned out. For Gen Z and millennials, that number climbs to over 80%. I feel like we are trying to run a 21st century marathon on a brain that is still exhausted from the previous mile. This burnout isn't just a tired feeling. To me, it's a functional collapse. It kills creativity and costs the world trillions in lost productivity. I wonder, are we all suffering from what's known as decision fatigue? We squander our willpower on trivial, toxic routines, leaving nothing left for the things that actually matter. In my view, modern systems are designed to extract from us, but our habits were never meant to endure this level of pressure. To find a way out, we need to look into the basement of our own minds. How can we drive a car while being deeply lost in thought without crashing? Or why, when we're bored, do our hands instinctively open social media, even though our minds are screaming, "Get to work"? The answer doesn't lie in willpower, but in an ancient region of the brain called the Basal Ganglia.
The basal ganglia acts like a hard drive, storing old scripts. There's a study about a patient named Eugene Pauly that truly gave me chills. Even though he completely lost his short-term memory, he could still walk home by himself every morning.
This shows a profound truth. Habits are more powerful than memory. They are an underlying operating system, completely separate from our logical thinking. In my observation, the brain is an incredibly lazy, yet intelligent entity.
It's always looking for ways to save energy by turning every repetitive action into a 3-step loop. Cue, routine, reward. First, there's a cue. It could be a notification or simply a feeling of emptiness. Immediately, the brain activates a routine, which ends with a reward, a hit of dopamine.
But the most dangerous thing is the craving. Once a habit is deep enough, your brain starts producing satisfaction the moment it sees the cue, even before the action happens. That's why just seeing a fast food logo can make you feel hungry.
You're no longer truly in control. You're being driven by a pre-programmed illusion. One perspective I want to share: the brain has no delete button for these neural pathways. You can't erase a bad habit. You can only find a way to overwrite it.
We don't actually need to tear down and rebuild our entire lives. Instead, I believe in the power of the Domino Effect, or Keystone Habits. I was deeply moved by the story of Paul O'Neill at Alcoa. Instead of forcing profit, he focused only on worker safety. Changing that one small link created a chain reaction that skyrocketed the company's value by $27 billion. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, find your own domino. It could be as simple as making your bed or taking a 15-minute walk. When one piece falls into place, the rest start to move in ways we never expected. Another perspective: willpower isn't an innate virtue. It's a muscle. If you overwork it from morning to night, by 4 p.m., it's going to be exhausted. That's why I started practicing pre-programming. Instead of waiting for the moment of exhaustion, I write a script for myself. If I feel stressed, I will drink a glass of water instead of reaching for sugar. This automates our willpower, saving energy for the decisions that truly matter. Ultimately, change isn't a grand event. It's a series of small wins. I no longer expect to become a perfect version of myself overnight. Every time you choose an action slightly different from your old routine, you've already won a battle against your basal ganglia. Habits shape our destiny, but we aren't helpless victims. We are the architects. This journey begins with the realization that you don't need to change who you are. You just need to change how your gears turn. What do you think about this? Is there a small habit you feel is quietly shifting your life?